Um, so, the main topic of this conference is Marc and I have been thinking about an issue, a social issue, we've had for a little while, and we were never able to find a specific solution to that issue. So we thought, okay, what can we do? Let's try to warm up people's brain through some different enigmas to see if we can activate some different parts of the brain which people are not used to work when they're facing a social issue. Because we might activate like some different zones, more analytical, etc. So what we wanted to do is to give you a series of 4 different enigmas. We'll first do it individually, then we'll divide you into groups. We'll be like a small competition, a small interactive competition. And then we will present you the problem we had, the social problem, and in 2 groups we're going to try to solve it. And if we ever come up with a solution, we might be able to implement it in the future with some profit or something. Okay? So Marc will first introduce you to the first enigma we have today.
So first of all, you guys, I've seen you like looking at it. You'll have a paper in front of you with some numbers, and you have to find what the next
You can take it from the chair.
Exactly, take it from the chair. You'll have a pen or a pencil.
I'll write it for you here.
And you have to come up with the
if
next.
someone doesn't have it,
with the next series. We don't want to make it too long, so we're going to give you guys about between 5 and 10 minutes to see if you can figure something out.
So you have to find the next numbers of the next number of the sequence.
The next number of the sequence.
Where there's the interrogation.
One more, please.
Sorry?
One more.
Oh, one more. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have pens? Because we're running out of pens.
I have it on.
Do you have one more? Thank you. Thank you very much. You have an option? Okay. Let's see if my dad is. No.
Oh, okay. But remember you are
We're better in English. Let's put it that way.
Go on, KINNERNET. Go on.
We might have a winner right there. Let's see. Oh, we have a winner. Do you want to explain your solution?
Exactly.
Well, your hint was very clear, right?
Yeah, it's very clear.
Count
It's
the
really
numbers.
easy when you.
So the numbers, the line below, it's explaining the line above. So it's 1, 1. That's the first.
So there's 1, 1.
Above. The second one is there's 2 1s.
There's 2 ones.
Then there's 1, 2, 2, 2 1.
Okay.
One.
One. Just reading because here you have which is the first one. Two one. One two, which is this one. One one. Okay, let's bring it back. One, two, Guys, let's bring it back. Everyone, let's bring it back. Okay, so we'll do one more riddle individually, and then we'll divide into groups for some harder riddles. Okay? And one person won't be allowed to participate because it's breakfast to be going over them.
So, imagine that I am an employee and I have to give my employer every day of a week 1/7 of a gold bar. And I can only make 2 cuts. What cuts would you make of this gold bar?
Yeah.
I have to give, well, the employer has to go back to his house every day with 1/7 of the gold bar.
1/7 more.
So every day he has to have like
1/7 of the remaining
No.
bar? No.
Okay, so the first day you have a whole gold bar.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So the first day you're the employer, and your employee the first day has to go home with 1/7 of that gold bar. The second day with 2/7. The third day with 3/7. Like that you divide among a week. You divide equally the paycheck. So every day he goes back home with 1/7 more.
And you can only have 2 cuts
On the gold bar.
on the gold bar.
On our gold bar you can only cut it twice.
You
How
can
many
cut
times?
7 times.
Twice.
You cannot cut 7 times. Just 2 times.
To find the sevens, how do you make a sevens? If you only
How do
That's
you make
your job.
it? Exactly.
so you could make half or
Yeah, exactly.
25% or
Yeah, exactly.
whatever you want.
Whatever you want to make sure that your employer goes back home with 1/7 more every day.
Exactly.
1/7 of the original bar.
Of the original, no, of the original bar, of the original. Yeah.
And how many days?
7.
7 days a week.
2 cuts.
Two
2
cuts.
cuts.
No, the important thing is how can you create the sevens?
So imagine that's a gold
with
bar.
2 cuts.
That's a gold bar. You cut it twice. You cut it twice.
Yes.
And every day he has to go with 1/7. The next day with 2/7. The third day with 3/7.
Tu coupes la barre 2 fois. En tout.
First day, yeah.
No,
Every day.
No, the first day.
You cut it twice the first day. That's it.
That's it. You can never cut it again.
You only have 2 cuts in total.
Exactly.
4 pieces. It's impossible.
It is possible.
So it's possible. It's just thinking. If you have a possible solution, let us know. Don't say it out loud. So people think at least some minutes. But let me know and I will tell you if it's true.
Do you have solution?
We have one already that got it, huh? One person got it. But you can keep thinking. We need more. We need 3 or 4. This one is easy. Eh? Not for lawyers.
La barra es como
Un lingote
de oro. Se ha de cortar 2 veces.
No, son ¿Tú la sabías?
La barra es 3 veces que se te
Tengo una idea.
¿Tienes una idea de verdad?
Yeah, like this. Yes. Así lo quiero, ¿no?
No, it's straight. Pero no, porque estos son más. Cuchillo.
Ah, it's a straight cut, huh?
Yeah, straight cut. Sorry. Straight cut.
No, it's straight.
You cannot do like this, like.
I didn't do this. Okay, but sorry.
It has to be that you have a knife. Let's say.
Oh, Edgar, can I touch it?
No, give you the answer. Any other solutions?
That one's the easy one, come on. Only straight. Horizontal or vertical, like whatever you want.
Or diagonal? Anyone else?
Maybe you should try. Maybe you should try. Maybe you should try.
Okay, we'll give you the answer. Anyone else got it? Any ideas?
No ideas. Anyone?
We only have one person right there. You have one idea? Go ahead. Say the other. No. No, está bien, pero no, porque entonces ahí tienes una sexual.
No, porque sale siempre con la misma cantidad. Un séptimo siempre.
But Daniel, you have to think a little bit outside of the box. That was the goal. Go ahead.
So you got it for the 1/7, and then you got it on the 3/7. So the guy goes home the first day with 1/7 of the gold bar. He comes back the next day with the 1/7. He gives it to the employer. He gives him the 2/7. So he goes home with the 2/7. He goes back the next day with the 7. He gives him the 3/7.
It's like the whole thing.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Okay, now we're going to divide into two groups. And we'll give you two riddles that are a little bit harder. Okay? And you'll try to solve them in groups. Because we want to present our final riddle in our final issue in groups. So we'll make you work in groups so you can know each other. Okay? We'll divide you into groups, the room, if it's okay. We'll divide you into because we're going to present the last issue in two groups.
You can
so I know you can discuss in groups. And it's harder riddles. So maybe it will be easier if you work in groups. Because alone, I have never had a person that found it other than our friend here. Okay, so let's divide the room. Make a circle, two circles. Yeah, like this. Faites deux cercles, maybe. You can work together. Or we can do three groups if you guys want to work.
Tell us.
Let's do three groups because there's way too many people. We can do one group, the floor, and maybe you two. Then let's do another group. You three, and then let's do one group here, yeah? All of you guys. We want to do. You guys, okay, there's two people, okay, right in front of each other, looking at each other, okay? On the roof, if someone knows it, it's possible, don't say it, please. On the roof, there's four hats, or well, X hats, doesn't matter. And there's black hats and white hats, okay? The roof is going to open and one hat is going to fall on each head. One on my head and one on the person in front of me. I can't see my hat, but I can only see the hat of the person in front of me, okay? And the person in front of me can't see his hat, he can only see my hat, okay? At the moment when it falls, at that second, we need to say something, both of us, okay? We need to say something, either black or white, okay? And we need to be right, one of us, only one of us needs to be right about the color we have on our hat, okay? So before you do this experiment, you have 20 minutes to talk with your partner to settle a plan, to say, okay, I will say this, you will say that, and there's a way that you can figure out with your partner, which will make you have 100% accuracy for one of you. So one of you is always going to figure it out. Do you guys understand the riddle? I will say it again, okay? Black and white. Both are going to fall, and you both have to say something immediately. Either black or white.
Limited? Is it only one black and one white?
No, it can be both black, both white, one black, whatever option. Okay? And you
So
both
they can have white and white, black and black.
So for example, one technique I could invent which wouldn't work is we both say black. But what if both are white? Then it doesn't work. So you need to find a technique which you say with your partner, and then let's say you say something, he says something, and then only one of us needs to guess. If one of us guesses it, we're safe.
We have to talk both at the same time, or my
Both
partner
at
can
the
tell
same
me
time.
black
No.
and then I know what it is.
No.
Black.
Both at the same time.
Before the hat is
Not when it lands. It lands?
But you see the one in front of you.
Yeah, you see, but you need to figure out yours.
But you can say yours is white.
Okay.
No.
How do so are you?
Yeah, repeat. Ask question. Sorry?
There is two people, okay? And there are infinite hats. They are all black and white. Infinite, doesn't matter the number. And hat, of course. You can see the hat in front of you, and he can see your hat. Okay? And your hat can be white or black. And you have to figure out a way that, for sure,
One of you
exactly, is right.
is right about his
About his hat.
without saying it. And both of you are going to say it at the same time. Okay? You cannot communicate with anything.
You cannot communicate with
If you jump,
Well, because I need the truth table, you know?
Tú dices planta que digo algo, ¿no? Tú dices planta y digo eso.
No, porque te
Muy bien.
¿Cómo es?
Yeah, well, we have two. One and two and sorry. Okay, now so the real answer is one. As soon as it falls, you say the color. One of them says the color of the other one, and the other one says the opposite color of what I have. And then you're satisfying 4 cases. 4 cases is we both have black, we both have white. One has black and white, one has black and white. So what you need to do. What you're doing, okay, is you're simplifying the solution to have only 2 cases. Either we have the same color, either we have different colors. If we have the same color, then by saying the color, the person that's telling the truth, then he's satisfying the rule, right? If we both have black, and I say black because I see black, then we're satisfying. The guy in front of me, by saying always the opposite of what I have, he's satisfying the other rule. We have different colors. So what you're doing is you're taking a case of 4 options, and you're satisfying it by saying I can combine cases. I can combine same color, and I can combine different colors. Okay? You guys struggle a little bit? Antes con la tocar. Sí, antes. Claro. Que esta regla te pones de acuerdo antes. No, pero es lo mismo que antes, perdón. Antes hablas con durante 20 minutos, tienes que hablar de más. Which is the hardest for sure, and then we'll go on to the real issue, okay, the World Cup. So this last one, okay? We have money took since breakfast until now. We just figured it out.
started working on it 5 minutes ago.
Okay, so you are imprisoned in a castle, okay? So there's 2 people in prison in a castle by a very bad person,
Bad king.
yeah? And then, so you're in a castle, and you can see half of the land of this king, okay, of the kingdom. You see half of it, okay, and the person and the other person that's also in prison, he can see the exact opposite half. There's no intersection. You cannot see anything he sees. He doesn't see anything you see.
And they can't talk to each other.
Okay. There's a wall between you. You cannot communicate with the other person. Okay. The king comes and tells you, in my kingdom, there's either 10 or 13 castles. That's the 2 options, okay? Other castles in my kingdom. So you're in 13 castles, okay? Without counting mine, without counting the prison where you're at, okay? So there's in between all the field that both people in the prison see, there's either 10, if you sum them, or 13, okay? You don't know how many. None of them knows how many, the 2 prisoners. Every morning when they wake up, they will ask them, do you know how many there are, okay? They can only say once, they can only get 1 chance to try. So when they're sure, they need to try. If they fail, they're dead. Okay, so they need to figure it out without saying anything, and if they find it, they're liberated. Okay, we're clear? After 5 days, one of them says, I know that what's the number of castles that there are without counting the one we are in, okay? So what is the sum of both sides, okay? Is it 10 or is it 13? If after 5 days someone has said something. Good luck.
During the first day,
What?
Give an answer to everybody.
On the fifth day, they say the number of the
What does it change? I mean, you have 5 chances. I thought they
If you say one number, you're
Not talking 5 times.
everybody will
and they have to answer. They see part of it. Not exactly now. So the people that don't have other 10 cities and now 30 cities. We don't know. There are 2 people. They see part of the land. One might see 7, one might see 6, one might see 2, one might see 8. Every morning, the king comes and asks them, do you know how many cities we have in the government? If they know for a fact, they will have to know. Otherwise, they will have to say, they are in the same building, but they cannot communicate. So on the 5th day, when the king comes, it's we know the show. Yes, they know it. They know it.
Guys,
For the first 4 days, they don't say anything. On the 5th day, they just stop. How would they stop?
no,
I don't want to say. This is where they never know. I know there are not 11 or more companies. There are not more in the other. Because I know why. Because the fact is, I know that there are no 11 or more in my view, and I know that not even more in history because it's my language. So if it's 0, the first day is 13 or 11 or more. Yeah, 11 or more.
Yeah, because if you just say that, if you say that,
But he's going to be seen for 10. No, or 12. Because I said 12, I said 13 because the other option is 10. And then second day it's less. Because the fact is, if he's not answering for second day you know that the other guy was not really letting you know. Because you know that King is coming back. So you know he doesn't have 11, he doesn't have 11. So we should have less. Let's go until 5. This point you get like 5. I know because he's 7 and he's getting like
So they know their respective concepts of the others.
no, but I'm sure they have 11 or more.
so what is saying, they know but the second day, they know
The first day, this guy will say that, right? Or more than 7. No, because if the guy in the other side, if it's
you see, you will say, yes, because it's 10 and you have more than 10 in your concept of parts.
what would happen if there are 6 and for the worst case, so in this case, it's first day.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So if one guy says 10 and the other guy says this guy, can you let me? Because if one day, if in the next
You never know. You will never know. Because they say 3, 7, or 6.
No. This guy will know. Because he has 7.
What means the second day?
Second day, the information I have is that I'm not sure the one but second day I know that there is no in the other guy. Okay? So I know some facts. No, because if you think that he has
10 divided by 5.
Okay guys, we have 3 minutes left, so of the conference, so we might need to wrap up. Any ideas?
Next day
You get it?
and then I know and then you go and say, well, he's not saying anything, that's because he didn't have 10. And then next day, and then the 5th day is the day you know how many went out and how many, and then one of them should be
We don't receive more information for more days.
No, but you have an information which is the other guy doesn't have.
No,
You don't know.
why
The only information we receive.
Because they got
Some day we will have 5% information.
the good answer is
It's the same. Just one day, the first day you receive information that
sí, pero but it's not only
the second, third day, I will understand what information you receive.
No,
Well, exactly. That's my goal.
I see.
So the first is no one said anything.
What else you have?
If you go beyond that,
Or 12 or 11 times. So you have just the first day. You know, so now from there you see 1 point. So now the second day. Okay, guys, let's bring it, up. We'll give you the solution, and we'll continue to the final real problem, the real issue. Guys, hold it up. Guys, come up. Okay, yeah. What? Okay, guys, so how this works is, the first day, you know it's after 5 days, okay? The first day, if no one says anything, when you wake up the second day, you know that no one said anything during the first day, which means that no one has 11, 12, or 13 castles on your side. Because if you had 11, 12, or 13 castles, someone you knew it's not 10, okay? So you know no one has that. The next day, you wake up and no one has said anything. That means no one has 0, 1, or 2. Because if someone had 0, 1, or 2, you knew it would be 10.
correct.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? Everyone? What? Yeah?
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, so I have zero,
If nobody
one.
says something,
Okay,
because you have one or two.
That's the second day. What?
In the first day, the other guy
It could be 13, but I mean, the first day, when it goes on, you know it's not 11, 12, or 13.
Okay, there's the
On one side. The next day, you know, no one talks, you know it's not 0, 1, or 2.
Right.
Huh?
Because no one says it's not 10.
No, because because if it's 0, 1, okay, let's say the first day you understand why it's not 11, 12, 13. Okay, the next day, let's say that in my field I had 1,
Yeah.
okay, I would know that the final answer is 10, okay, if I had 1, because as if it's not 11, 12, or 13, if I have 1, the only answer can be 10. Yeah? Because if not, it should be 12. The other person should have 12 for it to be 1.
Okay.
You understand? So if I have 0, 1, or 2, then the other person has to have 10. Okay, you understand? You get it?
Yeah.
Everyone? The next day, when you wake up, for the same logic, like expanded, it's not 8, 9, or 10. Because if it's 8, 9, or 10, it has to be 13, because you know that no one has 0, 1, or 2.
Yeah.
Okay? Everyone? I know it's a bit complicated, but...
Yeah, it's discrimination.
Yeah? Okay, got it. You're dealing. So for now, when 3 days have passed, you wake up on the 4th morning, you know that you can only have, both of you in your fields, have between 3 and 7 castles. Okay? As of now, it's the 4th morning, you have, well, the next day they're going to figure it out. So as of now, it's between 3 and 7. Okay? If you have 6 or 7, you know... No, if you have 3, 4, 5, sorry. If you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's 10. Because the maximum number is 7. So if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know that the other person, even if they cannot have 7 because, if you have 5, they cannot have 7 because it will be 12. So you know that if you have on your side 3, 4, or 5, then it has to be, someone would have said that the final answer is 10. You wake up the next morning, and you know that no one has 3, 4, or 5, so both of you have 6 or 7, which means that you have 13, 6 and 7.
Very good.
Okay? And now let's culminate it with the real problem. So Marc will introduce the problem. You'll think about it. Now there's not a real winner because we don't have a solution for this issue. Just an idea we had. There might be not a solution. It might not be effective, but we wanted to try it because who knows.
So we have been thinking about it for a while, and we know that per year about 50,000 homeless people die around the world, and of hypothermia. Sorry, and we know
Of
that
hypothermia.
hypothermia. And we know that by warming up your hands, the blood gets warmed up and goes around the body, so the body temperature raises. So we want to figure out a way to warm up their hands that is not fire, because in New York you cannot build fire, or that is not gloves, because gloves don't raise up the temperature that much. It just maintains the temperature of the body. That is efficient, sustainable, and can help us reduce this death ratio. And that's it.
You understand the
After how many days? How do you save people dying?
So yeah, it will be creating a way that people would hold some kind of gloves that is cheap, because we want to send it as like something that's really cheap and that's sustainable. So that's something that doesn't break. That's not like something not sustainable. For example, is the patches that you go when you go skiing, because that like you probably have to throw it, you have to buy new ones. So something that you create. The main idea would be creating a ball that people would hold, and then it would work, but how do you charge them? Because they might not have charging. We thought about kinetic energy, so like moving, but that doesn't produce heat. Is something that you need a lot of energy to produce, and that would mean people like constantly creating like movement, which is not feasible. So we were thinking of what is a way to create something that keeps warm, if anyone knows, because of your field, because of something, and that homeless people will be able to hold when it's very cold temperatures. Because when it warms up your blood goes around and it raises your internal temperature of a couple degrees, which would be very helpful for people that die of hypothermia or cold. Okay, so now you can think with your groups. Any creative solutions, mix your fields, your ideas, whatever.
So what I would do is something
devices that are already powered, so some create
you go to the gyms where there is spinning classes, you put some get the energy from the spinners and then hit them.
No, but what are you doing? You're sleeping doing that it's cold and then you just hold the samples so you run out of it in your face.
it looks amazing clear.
It does, yeah. It's like that.
So that way, having a stone, more likely,
Belts with the solar thing.
Belts with the solar battery and the sensor which detects the hand temperature and it switches
Okay, guys.
yes, if
So, if anyone if anyone wants to share a solution now, we'll give the time to people. Other than that, we created a club in our university that does exactly this. So we bring up creative people, we put them together in think tanks, and each group has a different social issue, and they have around 10 weeks to come up with a solution to the problem we give them, and then we try to apply it. So if any of you have any other issues you think would be interesting to tackle, you could tell us for sure, and we'll consider it, of course, and maybe create a WAZO, which means idea in Swahili. It's WAZO. You can, I'll give you the email or the website or whatever. WAZO. Exactly, like Waze, but with the in Los Angeles. It's based in Los Angeles. So what we do exactly is we create an interview with riddles and different kinds of problems. Then we take people that we think are creative, etc., and we create different groups of between 4 and 6 students, which each of them we give them a social issue, and they have to try to come up, as you just did, with solutions. And we're in contact with a lot of non-profits in LA, with different professors from our university, which help them come up and develop solutions. So if any of you have a problem, you can give it to us. And if you have a solution, anyone, speak up. Anyone has any idea?
From the hypothermia.
We heard one. You want to present it?
What is this?
Oh, you have?
We had some here.
Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah, go. Just say that.
We started thinking with getting some water bowls, and you can heat them up either with compost, because the moment you have some earth and you put in food water by natural bacteria, but then they have the other point, which is how do you get earth in every home in a spot. So then we had another idea, which was, do you want to explain it? Okay, so it's just a little capsule that is made out of covered in aluminium or whatever doctors put over. And then with the valve, how do you say that? Inner vapor breath in your hands, and then he further expanded and said maybe your inner valve is not enough when you're suffering from hypothermia, but if you have a small capsule where everyone is flowing into, then you have this collective.
That's clever, but just not to destroy anything. But the only thing is that most people die from hypothermia when they're sleeping. So the main problem we've had is a source of heat that is able to maintain 4 to 8 hours when you're sleeping. Because finding ways of creating warmth when someone is awake is possible. The problem is when you're not moving and when you're sleeping, then there is where the problem begins in theory. So we can maybe put a mask to your idea, but I don't know what's the warmth of a human breath. I don't think it's above 37 degrees.
And then he also said something really useful, which is maybe sometimes they already have their newspapers and cardboard boxes, and sometimes maybe they don't seal them properly, and that's why.
That could be a good idea, creating a good sealing. Because actually one of the main reasons of hypothermia usually is the water. It's not only being cold, it's being wet. also. So that's another problem we're working on.
An extra blanket, can that do the trick?
But
It helps, but
by extra,
Something is
the problem is again, as I was saying, the water. You need to create an impermeable blanket then, because water plays a big role in. Yeah, so it could be, but like what Boston, the city of Boston did is they did, what they say, they give aluminum foil. The thing that which costs 20 cents, 10 cents, they gave that, and that's something that maintains 90% of the heat that your body is producing. The problem also is that water goes underneath, and sealing is one of the biggest issues. How do you seal something cheap? And like, the greatest idea I've ever heard, which is why I created this club, which is for me the most genius thing ever, is two kids from Stanford, I think, they went to Brazil, they went to favelas, and when you, I don't know if you, I'm sure you've all seen favelas, where there's the mountains, and there's all the roofs, which are actually aluminium, like thin slates of aluminium, and so you can understand that the sun, when it's raising, they have light, but as soon as it's 2-3 p.m., as it's slits of aluminium, there's no more sun getting in, which means that kids, when they go back home at 3, it's like night, and they're like homes or like in the favelas, which means they can't study, they can't do anything, and that means they need to spend a lot of time in the street, which might not be the safest, and that if families want them to be home, they need to put electricity, which is expensive, so it creates a lot. Two students, they went there and they were like, okay, what can we do? They drilled a hole in all of the roofs, they put a water bottle, silicone, and that has changed. That has changed like favelas. Like literally, you can see like the difference that it has made. Now it's just creating light refraction. It's something that anyone can do. You just drill a hole. There's a YouTube tutorial. You put a water bottle, fill it with water, put silicone, which is like not hard to find. You put silicone. Now water is not going to leak in if it rains or anything because you have the silicone, and it's creating like natural light in your apartment for the whole time where there's sun. So that's the exact kind of solutions that would be great. It's something that anyone can create. It's easy, it's cheap, and it's changing people. So thank you very much for coming.